Every collapse you've lived through was never an accident, it was engineered. They never told you why you truly fall. Not in their speeches, not in their scriptures, not in their carefully packaged motivational slogans. The real reason has always been buried, hidden beneath centuries of silence. You were meant to believe falling was weakness, failure, shame, proof you weren't enough. But in the shadows of forgotten history, kings and priests knew the truth. The fall is the initiation. Every collapse, every defeat, every shattering moment of despair, these are not accidents. They are engineered passages, designed trials. Because only in the fracture of a man can his chains be revealed. Only when you are stripped bare does the machine show its hand. You think the world beats you down because it is cruel. Number. It beats you down because it is training you to obey. The fall is not random. It is ritual. And every ritual hides a door. Look closer and you'll see the fingerprints of power etched across your failures. Ancient empires knew this secret. Break a man, then teach him who he is allowed to become. That blueprint survives today, hidden in schools, in corporations, in politics. They don't want warriors. They want obedient men who confuse survival with living. Every setback you've endured, every door slammed in your face, every humiliation that clawed at your pride, these weren't just random storms. They were crafted environments, psychological cages. And most men never escape. They drown in despair and call it destiny. But here's the unspoken law. The fall was never meant to end you. It was meant to awaken you. Because if you see through the design, if you understand that your pain was structured, then you can flip the system. You can rise. Not as a servant of the order, but as the architect of your own. Every culture, every empire, every hidden order has used the same ancient weapon, controlled collapse. They let you rise just high enough to taste possibility, then they cut you down, watch you break, and measure what remains. This is not failure, it is alchemy. The fire that burns away illusions, exposing only what is real. And here, in this abyss, you face the choice every man must make, to stay broken or to forge something unshakable. That is why you fall, not for their approval, not for the system, but to uncover a strength they fear. Because when you see through the lie, when you refuse to be programmed by their design, you become dangerous. You're no longer a pawn in the ritual, you are the disruption. Comment, I rise from the ashes twice below. Seal it, anchor it, claim your rebirth in the open where the shadows cannot silence you. Understand this, institutions were never built to set you free. From temples to governments, from banks to universities, every pillar of power was erected to channel your fall into obedience. They studied your psychology, mapped your fears, and engineered illusions to keep you dependent. They gave you gods to worship, leaders to obey, debts to carry, and distractions to drown in, while the real knowledge stayed locked away, guarded like treasure. The deeper truth, they don't fear your failure, they feed on it. They fear your awakening. A man who sees that his suffering is not fate, but design, becomes untouchable. Because once you know their pattern, you can use it against them. You stop being a victim of the fall and begin using the fall as a weapon. That's the crack in their armor. That's the point where history itself begins to bend in your hands. This is the secret they prayed you'd never discover. Falling is not the end, it is the forge. Every scar on your soul, every night you thought would break you, every betrayal that hollowed your chest, it was not destruction, it was design. The world systems need you broken, because broken men obey. But a man who rises from the fall is untouchable. He doesn't seek approval, he commands respect. He doesn't wait for permission, he takes ground. Understand this. Every collapse you've endured was a test of initiation, a chance to claim the power hidden in pain. They will call you reckless. They will call you dangerous. They will call you mad. But history remembers only those who refuse to kneel. You don't fall to stay down. You fall to rise beyond their reach. And once you rise, there is nothing left to fear.